Welcome to Marketing with Vino, the Edutainment Business Growth Podcast, mixing education and entertainment to make growing your service business much more fun. Your hosts, Quinton Venter, online marketing expert, and Gabby Kowalski, creator of the Business Freedom Formula, have a glass of wine and share powerful and up-to-date strategies to help grow your service business fast.
Hey, welcome listeners. This is such an exciting day because this is the very first podcast of Marketing with Vino. Co-founders here sitting with you. I'm Gabby Kowalski from itsimple.net.au and I've got Quinton Venter here from quintonventer.com.au. Quinton specialises in Facebook marketing. I specialise in creating business freedom. Say hi, Quinton.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the warm introduction, Gabs, and let's rock it. This is going to be exciting. We both have our wines ready. I've got mine from Taylor's. I'm sipping on this beautiful Shiraz.
Shout out to Taylor's.
Shout out to Taylor's. What are you sipping?
I'm sporting a wine from Coonawarra. It's a lovely Cab Sav. I'm enjoying it quite nicely. Beautiful. Shout out to the Coonawarra wineries. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think if we'll probably get some wine sponsors on the show later on, just from reviewing their wine. So this episode is brought to you by Taylor's and Coonawarra region.
Woohoo! So we actually created, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think
tell them all.
I'll go by and just ask you simply from why did we create this? You're the brains that made this happen and connected us in such a way, and I think if you share that story, everyone would love that.
Awesome. Well, it's funny, Quinton and I got together a couple of weeks ago. Quinton lives in Sydney, I live in Melbourne. I was down in Sydney for a mastermind with my mentor, and we caught up. And we're sitting at this beautiful winery, and we're drinking wine, and we're having epic conversations about business and marketing. And we're just sitting there going, you know what, someone should record this. This stuff is gold. And I say to Quinton, I've got this idea, I really want to create a lot more impact. I want to help more. I want to help as many service-based businesses out there really live their dream life, really have the business that they really want, meaning they get the money, the time that they've always desired, and they get to create impact, like real impact with what it is that they offer to the world. I'd love to produce more content value add based stuff. You and I should create a podcast where we talk about marketing and reach a wider audience and help, unlimited amounts of people. And it's funny because some people have a mission. We were talking about this the other day, Quinton. Some people have a mission where they're like, I want to help 100,000 of my market, reach whatever it is result.
Yeah.
And, the other day was yesterday. Yesterday, Quinton and I were talking. We thought to ourselves, screw it. What if it was, we want to help as many service providers as humanly possible. We're going to limit it to a number because, you know what? We might say 100,000 and then we're capped. Let's go with all of them, or as many as we possibly can, achieve their particular dreams in business. Sounds good?
Yeah, it sounds freaking awesome, and I think we're going to start it off with a podcast because what we also came about is you need to be comfortable. You need to be comfortable in not feeling pressure that you have to perform. So some people aren't comfortable in front of a camera, and others aren't comfortable in front of a mic, where some people are just comfortable having a general chit-chat conversation and the best comes from it. So if we start with this platform and absolutely rock it and trying to reach more people, we can branch this out to different platforms and really reach our mission to help as many potential service providers. And this is what the platform of podcasts is so powerful because it doesn't take much to get started. You simply just need something to record and a microphone. That is it. And start talking. Now, the great thing about Marketing with Vino is you and I get to both have an awesome conversation and dialogue. And I truly believe it's in the dialogue that the real gold comes from, where you're not constantly thinking like, shit, what should I say next? Or what will they think? It is simply a general dialogue. And from that's where the value lies. That's where the wisdom comes from. So I think everyone that is tuning in right now and seeing this is the very first episode, people will come back to this very first episode. Those of you that are tuning in right now, you're getting the start of this. This is the foundation of it. This is the ground. And it is skyrocketing up from here.
That's right. A truly epic day to be a part of, wouldn't you say, Quinton?
Oh, it is. I've been looking forward to this day all week. Last week, I was so excited. And coming down, when we spoke yesterday, and I finally spoke to the guy that's going to do our artwork, and I'm really looking forward to what he's putting together so I can send it through to you and get the drafts ready. This is exciting times for myself as well, and really, really excited to be part of this with you.
Awesome. Me too. Well, just so you know, guys, we're actually getting an awesome caricature kind of cartoon of us two drinking wine for our podcast pick. You're going to love it. It's coming soon. You probably see it when we actually launch this anyway. So the what led to this was we're actually talking about education marketing. You know, using content/education marketing to build a platform to make a bigger difference and to draw more business to ourselves and for our clients. One of the things I do with my clients, and so does Quinton, is we actually get our clients to build really awesome content marketing type stuff. So Quinton uses Facebook quite a fair bit. That's a part of what I do. For me, the encouraging my clients to actually share as much of their message as possible, I think is really valuable right now, because it's funny, years ago, people used to not share their intellectual property, not share their message because they wanted to protect it. So there was this thing of, I'm not going to tell people about my cool stuff and give them free tips and free pointers because they're going to then steal my intellectual property. And so they would only share it with people that paid. Yeah. I think nowadays we're living in a different time. We're living in a time where the way to protect your intellectual property is to share it. Because if you're all over the internet, sharing your cool stuff that you do with your clients, then there's proof that it's yours. That if someone tries to steal it, they can go, hey, hold on a minute, that's Sarah's stuff. Yeah. Sarah's been talking about that for the last 2 years everywhere. And so to me, it's, if you really want to make more impact, and you want to protect your intellectual property, you really want to get out there and talk about it and share it with as many people as possible. What's your take on that, Quinton?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and you've put it beautifully. My thing is, we live in an age where we are so well connected through social media and through the use of the internet that everything is at our fingertips. And as a consumer, I also think that we make better choices now before we spend any money. See, the money is still there. The money has never left. It is just the way that it's being spent. And the way that we are now shopping is we want to compare. We want to have so many different contrasts to see if we're making the right decision. And as you're saying, if we're on a point where we're so scared of what we want to share and then we're being caught out at the end of it, being phony, that we stole someone else's stuff, I think that hurts more, that hurts our reputation more than just being there genuine upfront, sharing and actually giving reference to where reference is needed, to tell them that I've read this article by Gary Vee and this is my take on it, and to really share those your resources as well with people. It really shows that you are genuine, and therefore that strengthens the trust factor of people liking you and trusting you, that you're not having a second motive behind it, that you're actually transparent with your business and where you get your sources from.
Yeah, isn't it funny, because the energy with that, if you're talking to someone who's just authentic, heartfelt, transparent, you actually want to do business with them, compared to the super wanker that, tries to be the super ultimate, expert and takes credit for everything. We're all human. There's so much knowledge out there that I've learnt from various sources, and there's also a whole bunch of stuff I've created for my market. And for me, I want to bring you listeners, the best of the best. I've spent the last 15 years studying business, marketing, sales. I've consumed so much stuff, and some of it's not relevant to you. So to help you out so you can fast track your success, I want to give you the gold. Some of it's going to be my gold, and some of it's going to be stuff I've learnt from others. I'm definitely 110% happy to give them a shout out and a bit of a clap for what they bring to the market.
Yeah, totally. To add to that, the psychological factor behind it is, if you're constantly giving away your brain, your knowledge, that makes it almost makes a necessity for you to go and source more knowledge. So therefore, you're not just looping the same information over and over, being scared that people might find out all of it. It is simply you give it all, And that puts you in a position where you're like, shit, I need to actually go find out new stuff to tell these people. Otherwise, they're going to go listen to it from somewhere else. So it actually puts you in a momentum pattern where you're constantly out there finding information, putting into practice and translating it into your world, and therefore sharing it with your people. That's actually the whole process of the whole knowledge, the content world that we currently live in. And it's beautiful.
It's true, isn't it? Like, it's funny, but you embracing education marketing, meaning that could be, writing blogs, it could be creating video blogs, it could be doing a podcast just like this one, it could be running webinars or small workshops or all of the above. When you do that, and when you do that quite consistently, it actually calls you to be even more masterful at what you do. It calls you to upskill. It calls you to stay in the game, to stay on top of your industry, to stay on top of what's current, what's relevant, which actually means that it holds you accountable to maintaining an expert status. Which is awesome because, a lot of you may have already heard about content marketing to create authority, especially if we've got some coaches on the line or some other industries. You may have been exposed to this already where, share really cool information with your market and it will have them want to do business with you because you're educating them. May it be if you're a wellness practitioner, creating content about how to get better, gut health or whatever it might be, giving people tips. Often a lot of people don't even know that being bloated all the time means they've got certain specific issues going on. And if you create content about that and they come across it and you've answered their problem, you've opened their eyes and created an aha moment, it does attract them to come to you. Furthermore, though, the more you create this content, the more it does. It keeps you inspired and passionate about your art, about your particular skill set. It has you want to do more and give more. And I think that's where the authority really comes in, because if you're going to go and deliver really crappy stuff, like if you're just going to talk about really basic crappy stuff that no one really wants to know about, it's not going to position you as an expert. It's not going to position you in a place where people are actually going to be magnetized towards you. It's only if you're willing to talk about the stuff you're passionate about, the current stuff you're learning, the stuff that really makes a difference, and being interested enough in your market to know what they want to know. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Also, you need to be attuned with what it is that your market has the ears open for. I mean, let's talk about that education marketing on what that actually means, and not your boring marketing, just putting an advertisement up. Actually engaging marketing. So as we joked about it before, it's the entertainment side of things. So edutainment marketing, where it's
that's right. We've coined it. So that's why it's been trademarked right now by Marketing with Vino. It's called Edutainment Marketing. TM trademark.
You hear it here first. And that's what it is. You want to educate your market, and you also want to entertainment throughout the same way. And the way to go about that is storytelling and using social platforms. People love that. That's why they come to certain social platforms, is to be entertained. They don't come to these platforms to want to be sold to. So if you're out there constantly just putting it up that you want to sell stuff to your audience, they're going to push you away and they're going to ignore it. It's spam. No one wants to be sold to uninvitedly. But if you go out there, if you're a wellness coach, or even if you're a landscape company, and take it from that service provider, even to the point where you want to be at people's houses, the way that you entertain them and educate them on your marketing is to put out a report on 5 things that you must ask every landscaping company before they cut your lawn. That's one way of writing a report, but you could also just go ahead and pick up a camera. Everyone's got a smartphone at the moment where you can just pick up your camera and show videos of you mowing someone's lawn and putting that up on your social platform. And that is entertainment, that is education, because you're teaching your market what it is that you actually do, the service that you provide, and you're slowly marketing yourself without putting it directly out there, like, hey, I want to come and mow your lawn. It's like
dating,
words.
Isn't it? You're dating your market. You're not just trying to get them to sleep with you in the first conversation.
Yeah, or even better, you're not proposing on the first conversation. You're not there on one knee, and I think that
much
is what
cleaner metaphor. Thank you.
And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do. They try and seal that deal the very first time they get the opportunity to speak to someone. It's almost like desperate, right? It's almost like you straight away you see this beautiful partner, this beautiful woman. I'm just going to talk from my perspective now, where you see this beautiful woman and you're going to take every chance that you have to seal the deal. So you straight away walk up to her and you just straight away on one knee and you go, will you marry me? What do you think the reaction is to someone doing that? They're either going to think that they're being filmed, that they're being pranked, or if this is serious, you'll probably get a smack in the face. Or if she's a genuine nice person, she'll probably save you the embarrassment and just say no and walk off. But I mean,
either way, she's probably going to think you're crazy.
Exactly.
And feel a little bit threatened that you may do something weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you go to such an extreme on the very first time, where will it go once she's been with you for a month or 2 months? What is the next extreme factors or places that you can go to? But I think if people just take it a step back and really learn how to romance a girl, or really know how to romance their partner, or go through that to really romance the relationship, to really give and give from a place of heart space, where it is not from being desperate, that you're really being that character of being genuine, and that's where the transparency comes into place. What are your thoughts?
Thing. Well, that's what we were talking about that the other day, where, I personally believe advertising, cold, hard, straight up, give me your money straight away, you've never met me before, advertising is dead. I really do think we've already moved a long time ago into relationship marketing, which is actually building a relationship with our market before it wants to spend money with us. We are, as consumers, so much more intelligent and so much more intuitive. We're not willing to be burnt like past consumers were. We've learnt the hard way, really. These days we do research. It's not just I need a website. I Google websites, find the first person, call them, and sign up with them straight away. Ultimately, it's rare. It's a very small percentage of the population that buys like that. Yeah. Most of us want to feel comfortable. We want a little bit of proof. We want to be able to feel like we've connected a little bit with that person, that they're going to deliver their outcome. And that's where, to me, education marketing is brilliant. Like you said, actually, like for me, whenever I run an event, I post pictures of me running events with my clients up on my Facebook page with little tips of what I've been sharing with them. Yeah. And it's not like a cheesy kind of intrusive way of, it's never saying, hey, buy my stuff. It's a, hey, just ran this event, shared this cool thing with my clients. They loved it, thought you would too. Here's a cool tip. It's gentle. Yeah. And same with you when you're watching, or when you're hearing this, really, as you're listening to this, think to yourself, what are ways that I could help my market? Because, Quinton, you and I were talking about this yesterday, and I remembered, for me, there was a time a while ago, a friend of mine said to me, he's also in business coaching, and he says to me, hey, Gabby, what do you do to show your market that you love it? Mm. And I'm like, I do lots of stuff for my clients. I add so much more value. Like if I go above and beyond. I never finish just because the time's up. I finish when the outcome's there. And I'm rattling off all these different things that I do. And he goes to me, well, no, that's not what you're doing for your market. That's what you're doing for your clients. Yeah. That's how you're showing your clients that you love your clients. How do you show your market that you love your market? What do you do for them? And I'm like, oh, shit, good point. So much focus in business goes into the client experience. So when you look at stages of awesome business, stage one is just focus on selling. And stage one is not in the stage you want to live in, but stage one is purely like old school. Focus on the sell, do everything to sell. So it's date until they marry you, so to speak. But once you get married, that's it. Everyone stops putting effort in, and it's like, once they marry you, they get fat and lazy and start picking on you, right? So the stage one of business is do everything to schmooze them and get the sale. Once you get the sale, forget about them and move on to the next person. Stage two of business is do everything you can to get the sale, and then do everything you can to retain the client. Yeah. So it's love your client after they've accepted your proposal. Stay in love when you get married. Level 3 to me is actually it's a before and now and after process, where it's actually love your client before they even know they're your client, and they may never be. Yes. So it's love the market. Then when the market wants to do business with you, of course, make sure that you ecologically sell them what they really need. Never sell them anything that's not appropriate. And then 3, do everything you can to maintain that relationship and keep them as a client as long as possible and really, really solve their problem. And that's, to me, when my friend had said, what do you do to show your market that you love it? I realized, shit, I was actually, I thought I was a level 3 business owner, but I wasn't to the extent that I could have been. I was actually being a level 2 business owner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So for me, it's the time that we live in right now, it's a different time. And to me, unless you're a level 3 business owner, you're gonna face issues in this current market. The way that marketing exists, just the way that business runs right now and the way the market wants to be treated, I personally believe the level 3 is the one that's going to survive, and not even that, but they're going to thrive. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree 100%. And if you take that to the dating analogy, where level 1 is pretty much you get married and then it's all downhill from there. That's either when they stay out of you because the client will stay with you because they don't know any better, or they'll actually divorce you and they'll go somewhere else. And I think that is what a lot of people take for granted, is once their client is with them, that they just take it for granted that this client will be with me forever. Whereas instead, that's when the actual work happens. That is when you actually start to work, because it's much easier to sell to someone that's already bought from you. And I think so many people focus, especially coaches focus in that particular area, is where I just want to get clients. Whereas in any business, it's very much, no, get a client and make them feel like the sun goes up and down for them. And from that, do that consistently each and every day. And people will start to notice that, because that client will then start to talk to others about it, whereas like how awesome they're being treated here. And that's basically in a relationship where the partner goes to all of her friends and says like, shit, my husband is just incredible. And they all acknowledge it. They go like, yeah, you've got the perfect husband. I wish my one did that. Think about it from a business perspective, is where it's saying like, my provider or my service
my hairdresser is the best. My whatever it is, my mechanic is the best mechanic on the planet. Or my masseuse.
Yes, 100%. And you
want them raving. Yeah.
They start to go on where they're like, shit, I want my mechanic to be like that. Why isn't my hairdresser like that?
Yeah.
And I think that if you really start going into the fact of there's so many more ways that you could really wow your clients and keep them there so that they then start spreading the word for you, that is amazing marketing there on its own. But to go to the point where we now start really making fall in love with us before they even become a client, before they become a paying client, and this isn't to go out there and do free work by devaluating your time. It is simply by giving them tips and hints and useful resources that they can use then and there to better their current state. That's how they fall in love with you, and that's when they start inquiring about you, they start following you, and that's when you repeat that process of going on dates, asking for marriage, and loving that relationship through and through until the very end.
Yeah, which is the before, now, and after model versus, and it's all of them need to be there. All of them do. And it's funny because to me, I personally believe that right now the most powerful marketing is raving fan marketing.
Yes.
It's referral marketing has always been the best. It's the lowest cost. It's the best marketing we can get, because if your friend or family refers someone to you and you trust your friend or family, oh my goodness, it makes it so much easier for you to do business with that person. There's no buyer's remorse, there's no restrictions. But what's even better than just a straight out referral is a raving fan. It's someone who they're so excited that they transfer the enthusiasm over to you. And ultimately that's all sales is. Selling is a transfer of energy. It's a transfer of enthusiasm. That's why, we should never sell our own products and services like we're talking about potatoes. We should also have a bit of excitement when we share our product and service with our clients too. But when our clients do, it's brilliant. What's more to that though is when you create content, and like I said, it could be through blogging or vlogging or creating a podcast. When you create content that's actually heartfelt and passionate, because you're coming from a place of, you know what, I actually really do want to make an impact. I want to help as many people as I can in whatever area that you specialize in. You know, when you want to make a difference, when you want to make an impact, when you want to be on your deathbed looking back and knowing that your life counted, that you actually contributed to this planet, one thing you got to get is that impact doesn't necessarily always come from paying clients. Often it's all the people that you touch that you don't know about, you know, and I love that. I love that about creating education-based marketing where, you know, there's going to be people that listen to this podcast that I'll never meet, I'll never know about, will never spend a cent with me or with you, you know, and they will maybe even share some of the information within it and talk about the 3 levels of business or whatever it is that we share, right? They could share it with somebody else. And there's no way I'd ever know about that conversation, like the ripple effect, which means for you guys listening, if your heart really wants to make a difference, you really want to contribute to the planet, get that education, content, relationship marketing is the way for you to really get there as fast as possible. It'll give you that, it'll tick that box for you as quickly as you can, quicker than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, totally. And I want to share a story for those people that are currently listening where I myself I've been told numerous times over and over to go out there and share your awesome wisdom. Just get it out there to the world. But for me, it was always the challenge on what is the best approach. And you're constantly reading the best way now to get your message out there or the best way to storytell on this platform. But you really need to go ahead and think about what is best for you. What do you feel comfortable in so that you can really let that wisdom come out, so you can really show that true character and be genuine on stage when you're then speaking. So for me, it was, I've tried to do the podcast thing alone and I found it a massive swim upstream. Like I was struggling. And the reason was that I could speak about a topic, but then I'm constantly in my own head thinking, shit, what should I say next? Or how should I close this? Or where should I take it from here? So I'm actually being selfish in that way where I'm constantly in my own head and not really there for the listener to be in their head and to share love and value there. And that's where I find this platform, this means that we're using right now. And for everyone listening to it right now, we are doing just that. We are doing the whole thing, education marketing, through this platform, which is comfortable for the both of us. And especially for me, and I don't know if you can tell that I'm a lot more enthusiastic and a lot more calm at the same time by sharing this wisdom through this platform. So for everyone listening in, it's simply finding what is it that you love doing, where do you find yourself comfortable so you can really be you, and then do the storytelling there, share the content through there. I mean, there's other ways that you can then duplicate that content through transcribing it to make it in an article if that's where your market is currently reading or absorbing information. So you could do a transcription of it, and there you have 2 pieces of content, but start where you feel comfortable.
That's it. And look, ultimately, this is where I personally love video blogging. You know, however, it is different. So I still love doing it because with the video blog, you can create the video, you can extract the audio, and you can extract the written text by having it transcribed. So all of a sudden, you can put it up on your website, and you've got a video, an audio, and a blog. Great for SEO purposes, and you are then meeting the needs of pretty much everyone out there, the people that like to read, the people that like to listen, the people that like to watch. You're kind of ticking the boxes of people's favorite ways of doing stuff. In saying that, though, if you don't like the camera, if you just friggin' don't like it, it makes you shy, uncomfortable, and want to vomit, don't do it. Do whatever feels good for you. Some of you, and the question I'd have for you is, what do you like doing? Do you like talking? Or do you like writing?
Yeah.
And then if you like talking, do you like having a conversation, or do you like being the only one that talks? So for me, I love having a conversation, and so does Quinton. So for us, having a conversation with a few topics that we're going to talk about is the best way, because it gets us excited and we stay passionate, and we don't go in our head. We might go a bit off tangent, if anything. But it's fun. Like it's actually fun. We enjoy the process. For you, it's about enjoying the process, because unless you enjoy the process, you're not going to maintain it.
Exactly.
It's a very, very small percentage of the population that has the discipline to do what they hate on a regular basis. So my question to you would be, do you like writing or talking? And if you like writing, write. and research everything you can about being an awesome blogger. Actually learn about it. So if you like talking, research everything on creating awesome either video blogs or podcasts. What actually makes them epic? What's the structure? Because there's a different art form. There's an art form that you want to acquire. Unless you learn and master the art form, your stuff's not going to necessarily be that good either.
Yeah.
You need to, and for me, whenever I think of creating video blogs or doing anything, and even with this, Quinton and I were talking, what's a topic that we could talk about? We personally believe that this is valuable, that, for everyone out there right now knowing that, the world has shifted, that we need to feel comfortable with the people we're doing business with, that we actually want to work with people that are epic at what they do, have heart and care enough about us to give before we even spend a cent, then we think everyone needs to know this information, so we're sharing it. For you guys, it's actually about going, okay, what is my market's problem? What is the problem that I solve? And what are all the things that they're interested in? For us, of course, our market wants to make a bigger impact. It wants more clients. So we're solving the problem of, you want to make a bigger impact. You want to make a bigger difference. It's one of your goals to be in business. You're not just in it for the money. You're actually in it because you genuinely want to make an impact on the planet. We're going to share this with you. Think to yourself, what problem does your market have? And what bit of content would actually be really helpful for them? And share that. So it's not a platform for you to talk about anything you want to. It's a platform to really go, what's my client's problem and what is what I call my client's hot buttons? What's the stuff they're actually interested in that they give a shit about? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. And I'd also like to tell the story about a good friend of ours, Kelly. And we can go into more strategies later throughout the next episodes when we actually started getting a feel of what's going on. But for those listening and not really knowing what their market wants just yet, a good friend of ours, Kelly, she actually put on her Facebook saying, hey, I'm looking for mums between the ages of such and such who live in this area, who can give me an hour of their time for a quick interview. At the end of it, there's a free movie ticket or 2 movie tickets. She basically rewarded them to do an interview with her ideal client. So she did a call out through her Facebook friend saying, I want this person, and if you're a match, please let's just hang out for an hour and I can ask you questions about who you are and why you do what you do. And she's got this awesome research about, I think 10 people responded to it, not just for the free movie tickets, but the fact that they want to hang out with her. And she's now got awesome knowledge to put together saying, my market wants this, or Susie wants that, and Jennifer likes this, and they hang out here. This is what keeps them awake about at night. She's got all that information now. Now it's simply just putting it in, implementing it in the best way that she feels comfortable by sharing that content. And guys, it literally is that easy. You've got a Facebook social platform. By asking a question, people will respond.
Yep. And what you want to find out from them is, like, simply put, you want to find out what it is that they're frustrated about. So obviously in the area of what you do. So if you're a hairdresser, you want to find out, okay, what frustrates you in the area of hair, and hairdressing, and what are you afraid of? So it's frustrations and fears you want to find out. So, you'd find out that they may be frustrated that sometimes they go into their hairdressers and it's beautiful, and then other times there's no consistency, meaning sometimes they come out and their hair's burnt and the colour's not quite right, or their fear is that, that one time their hairdresser really stuffed up their hair and burnt their hair and it took a year to recover. So then you want to flip it over and go, okay, well, what is it that you want? What is it that you really want? And then what is it that you aspire to be or desire, in the area of insert whatever cool thing you do here. So if it's hair, for argument's sakes, then it would be, okay, what I want is I want to know that I'm going to get the exact same service, experience, and outcome every time I come to my hairdresser. That they're always highly skilled, qualified, and they know my hair better than I know it, so they can never damage it. Yeah. And what I really desire is I desire to look my best me. I desire to have my hair enhance my look, bring out my best features, and take me from a potential maybe 7 or an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. Now, when you know this, then you can go and create tips around that as a hairdresser. Yeah. What are some tips for argument's sakes, It could be, what type of hairstyle you need to have for different face shapes. That's going to be interesting to your market.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas talk if you're going to start talking about product, it's not necessarily going to be interesting to your market. So if you're thinking, I'm going to use education marketing to talk about shampoos and try and sell certain shampoos, your market's not necessarily going to read to that. Unless you position it as a really, really clever, entertaining product review, but you'd have to put a lot of character and a lot of fun into it. The truth is, it's what are they frustrated with? What are their problems, and what do they really want? Now, based on what they really want, let's give it to them in some way, shape, or form. And this is where, as you go deeper into this, as you go much deeper into finding out about your market and what they want, what they've got problems with, some really cool. Do you know what we could do? This is what we're going to do, because our first podcast, we're going to do something really cool for anyone that would actually like a printable version of an interview you can conduct with your market that gives you all the questions that you need to ask for you to then be able to create epic content with. Hit us up. You can email me directly at Gabby at itsimple.net.au. That's Gaby at itsimple.net.au. And Quinton and I will put something really cool together for you. So just send us an email saying, send me the market research stuff from the very first podcast, and we'll send you we'll send you a whole bunch of cool stuff. Yeah? Is that cool that I offered that, Quinton?
Yeah, I reckon that's awesome.
Done. And that way you can get all that. But then you can do what Kelly did and post a post up on Facebook saying, I'm after people in this area, for a bit of a chat to find out what you really want in relation to hair or health or whatever it might be that you do.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm curious to hear
you're going to be sharing it too. We'll put something together. I know Quinton's got his stuff, so I've got like a 34 questionnaire for market research. So I'm thinking Quinton and I can get together, have a look at what we've got separately, and and give you our stuff, because I know you do as well. Yeah. You've got a whole
I'm thinking offline we'll chat about it, but we'll actually put something together where people can go and download it directly. So to put in their email address, and they can download whatever template we've discussed for each show.
Right, done.
I think that's better. Easier for them.
Yep, done.
Yeah, love it. And everyone that's currently listening, please let us know. Please put some comments down below wherever we're publishing this. We are going to put this up on iTunes. So if you are listening to this, please go over to iTunes and rate it for us. That would mean the world.
Thank you.
And yeah, it would be awesome to share that love. And also let us know. Hit Gabby up with the email address Gabby at itsimple.com.au for any further .net.au.
That's right.
For any further questions that you might have regarding this episode or future episodes. Is there anything that you wish to add to that, Gabby?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if there's any specific topic you'd like us to cover, anything specific that you want us to talk about. And we're happy to do that, any questions that you may have around content marketing. We are going to cover this topic in more detail. It's a pretty big topic. We've literally just scratched the surface on it today, and we'll go into giving you more strategies, more tips, more awesome stuff around it in future episodes.
Yeah. I think for everyone listening, what's going to come is we've got a few hot buttons that we want to cover based on what you guys have already asked. So we're going to go ahead and cover that in the upcoming episodes. And if there's anything specific that you want to know more about or you want to dig in deeper, because we are going to share strategies. Gabby's mind is full of amazing strategies.
So is Quinton's.
Thank you.
It's pretty epic.
It is pretty epic.
This is like the Appreciation Society meeting.
So yeah, we are going to go deep into strategies. And for those of you that like the storylines, stick with us. It is interesting. There's gold in there, even though you don't like the finer details as yet. But please hold on with us. We are going to share some good gold with you.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. And that's because we've got marketing. Before
we do sign off, let's how's the wine been? So I noticed that you've only drank half your glass. If there was a competition, ladies and gentlemen, I close to drank my full glass, so technically I win. Ching.
Ching ching. Taylor's Wines, the Shiraz, we've actually cracked it open yesterday, so I was able to breathe for a day. This one is beautiful. I mean, it's nice and spicy. I'm not really a wine expert, So I'm going to use very general terms, not as much like Gary Vaynerchuk that goes into depth with it. I love my Shirazes, and yeah, it's a beautiful wine by Taylor's.
Thank you, Taylor's. And Riddich Kunawara, thank you for bringing me my lovely flavours. Honestly, this is beautiful. This is quite lovely. Highly recommend it. It's so smooth and delicious. And it warms the body.
And it makes marketing fun.
So guys, please do share, please do comment, and subscribe, and whatever it is that you can do to stay on this awesome journey with us. It's been fantastic hanging out with you.
Thanks, guys. Gabby Quinton out.
You've been listening to Marketing with Vino. If you enjoyed this episode and want to access the resources discussed in this episode, go to marketingwithvino.com and select which episode you've listened to.